federal agents who are watching this, remember that you swore an oath to support and defend the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic. This conduct that we're seeing does not hold up with that oath, and we are going to hold you accountable. Everyone that is involved in this absolute travesty of and violation of justice. And I want to thank Representatives Chuy Garcia and Delia Ramirez, who helped me put this on, as well as Representatives Mary Gay Scanlon, Becca Ballant, Sidney Kamlager-Dove, and Jasmine Crockett for coming to Chicago, along with many other colleagues. This is not normal, and we should be standing up to actually uphold the laws of this country. I urge Republican colleagues to join us and vote no on this. Mr. Chairman, I also seek a unanimous consent.
Gentlemen, may make your request.
To enter into the record the following articles from ABC. Chicago's children are getting caught in the chaos of immigration crackdowns.
Without objection.
From The Independent, U.S. citizen 67 has ribs broken by Border Patrol agents after being dragged out of car while driving home into street they'd blocked off.
Without objection.
From ProPublica, I lost everything. Venezuelans were rounded up in a dramatic midnight raid, but never charged with a crime.
Without objection.
From the Chicago Tribune, U.S. citizens racially profiled by immigration agents in Chicago, quote, I felt like a piece of trash.
I'd like to remind the committee that administrative removal is already on the books right now. All this law does is simply expand the categories under which an illegal alien can be deportable via administrative removal. In fact, administrative removal was used 13,000 times by President Obama, over 12,000 times under President Biden. Were those deportations a violation of due process?
Would the gentleman yield?
And no, I will not. And if we want to talk about due process, as my colleagues would like to, where was the due process for Rachel Morin, who was slaughtered by an illegal alien? Where was the due process for Kayla Hamilton, who was slaughtered by an illegal alien? What about Laken Riley or Jocelyn Nungary? Where was the due process for them? Where was the outrage when the last administration ushered into our communities Tren de Aragua gang members, MS-13 cartel members, and terrorists from around the world? I think that the American people can see that Democrats reserve their tears for illegal aliens who break our laws and victimize our communities. But if we want to talk about due process, let's talk about due process. Federal courts of appeals have routinely upheld this law's administrative removal procedures as they have existed for the last 30 years. In fact, every federal court of appeals to consider the constitutionality of the expedited removal procedures under Section 238 of the Immigration and Nationality Act has held that the statute comports with due process. Nearly 3 decades ago, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit held that, quote, clearly the expedited statutory deportation scheme comports with the minimum requirements of due process pronounced by the Supreme Court. The Fifth Circuit outlined the due process requirements, quote, that an alien be provided notice of the charges against him, a hearing before an executive or administrative tribunal, and a fair opportunity to be heard, end quote, all of which this statute satisfies and did satisfy. As recently as this past July, the Fifth Circuit reiterated that holding, as have the U.S. Courts of Appeals for the 4th, 6th, 9th, 10th, and 11th Circuits. Democrats' fear-mongering contradicts the law, contravenes the text of the bill, and undermines efforts to ensure that dangerous illegal aliens can be quickly removed from the United States.